What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today we are reacting to the Birds W over the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles are 2-0. We're talking top reaction, and we're looking ahead. The grind does not stop. We're looking ahead to the Rams game next Sunday, I think at 1 o'clock. Joining us, Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
Not much. Ready to kind of dive in a little bit more into this Chiefs victory. And I just always love hearing the fact that this is the first time in Mahomes' career that he has lost 3 games in a row. And 2 of them were the Birds.
Love it. Love it. Of course, joining us, Rob Langy at Philly_Madness. What's good, Rob?
I gotta tell you, man, that was a hell of a victory yesterday. I mean, that's one that, there's so many people that want to be negative and say it was no style points. To go into Kansas City, who just lost in week 1, who you embarrassed in the Super Bowl, who, I mean, everything was against you as far as the off the field stuff. You didn't play your best game offensively, and you still go into Arrowhead and get that victory. That is a gutsy hell of a win for this team. And, I don't think that's being talked about enough. I mean, look, there's some things to fix for certainly, but it's a hell of a win. I mean, really, really, really impressive win for the Birds.
Yeah, there was some good, some bad, some ugly, but let's start with the good. I thought the defense was sensational. Absolutely sensational. Vic Fangio put up a masterclass, especially in the second half, holding Mahomes to 187 passing yards, sacking him twice. The Eagles got a little exposed in man coverage during the first half a few times, but guys, man, Zadarius Smith looks like the perfect addition for this defense. Andrew Makuba making plays. Jahad Campbell looked good. Moro Jomo had his best game of the year. Yeah, it's only 2 weeks in, but we were expecting him to really make a big impact in 2025. And we saw some different looks. The Eagles blitzed 11 times. I don't think they blitzed at all during the Super Bowl. Their blitz percentage of 19.3% was the highest since Vic Fangio became the Eagles defensive coordinator. They blitzed on 28.9% of dropbacks. That was the second most under Vic Fangio. So all in all, a terrific performance. And we can go in between of where the standouts were, but I thought the defense was fantastic. Screw the doom and gloomers. This young Eagles defense is coming. Ryan, where do you want to go?
Yeah, listen, you're absolutely right. This defense, stepped up in a big way, and I think it's funny that we were kind of a little concerned about the defense heading into this season, given some of the uncertainty, given some of the younger players, given CB2, which unfortunately has still been is a problem.
Still wrong.
But but it's the offense that we were not worried about at all, and we were, hey, listen. Kevin Patula, all he's got to do is tell him to go out there. But obviously, it's a little bit more, complicated than that. And I think, honestly, I watched a little bit of the game again today. And, I thought the Chiefs actually played really good defensively. And I think took away a lot of options. And obviously, not having Dallas Goedert out there certainly changes things. Calcaterra, I mean, honestly, I'm ready for him never to be on the field.
He's a problem.
He is a big problem. And Dodge, you've known me for how long? And how long have I been saying that we need to get a solid tight end 2 in there? And they just refuse to. And it's I hope it doesn't rear its ugly head this year. But Makuba, Campbell, the rookies played well. Makuba played even better than I thought. At first glance, he was everywhere. I absolutely loved his game.
Yep. Eagles Eric, our own Eagles Eric here, has a show called The Edge. He put out an amazing tweet. If you haven't looked at it already, go check it out. But it was essentially Grant Calcaterra and how terrible he is in run blocking and things like that. Go check it out. And oh my God, they need a tight end in a big way. And Cameron Latu,
he was kind of fullbacking a little bit.
We need it. We need it.
Yeah. Listen. I will volunteer my services right now. I will go flying at somebody, and I will make sure that even though they may pancake the shit out of me, I will make sure that I inconspicuously hold them on my way down so that they fall on top of me. I don't mind getting injured every play. You give me enough money, medical bills are taken care of. I'll sacrifice my body. I can do a better job than Calcaterra.
Yeah, it's rough. Rob, what do you want to talk about from yesterday's win?
I thought the chess matches were really, really cool. I thought Spags and Fangio just were master. It was a master class of defensive coordinators. The way that Fangio went opposite of what he's been about since he's been here. I thought, I got to be honest with you. Like, I love how Spags kept doing those all out blitzes and basically saying, "Hey, make a play." And good for Jalen. He made the play there late in the game that really put that thing away. So I thought when you look at the coordinators all the way around, I thought the defensive coordinators were very impressive. I got to say, after 2 weeks, I don't know why, but I believe Patullo is way too vanilla offensively. I'm not really seeing too much as far as exotic plays or really allowing Jalen Hurts to throw the ball deep a little bit more. I just think it's too vanilla. I don't know what the reason behind it is. Yes, Kansas City's defense was tremendous yesterday, but at the same time, there were a few of those good old bubble screens. I felt like they ran them 4 or 5 times. The first one they ran wasn't the same. It was a quick hitter, get Devontae Smith going. But then after that, it was like bubble screens to, John Mechie. And I don't know. I'm hoping it's just him starting to feel his way. But to me, they've got to get a little bit more exotic offensively.
I'm not panicking. And I said this during the post-game show. And I honestly wasn't that nervous during yesterday's game whatsoever. Even the first half when Mahomes was kind of scrambling for his life. Mm-hmm. I'll take that all day versus getting picked apart and dink and dunked all game long. And Dory Jackson got burnt several times, but I thought Patrick Mahomes was really bad. I thought he missed several big-time throws. But when it comes to the Eagles offense, I'm willing to give it time. Give it at least a handful of weeks to begin with. Let them figure it out, and they've earned that right. So for me,
September's a new preseason, right? September's a new preseason.
Essentially.
Yeah, right. Well, listen. I think I just figured out how we can help the offense. We can take Calcaterra out, and we'll put in Adoree Jackson since he loves blocking. After his play last night where he completely blocked Reed Blankenship out of the play, I thought that was perfect execution. So let's see what his kid's got,
But like Rob said, like the lack of mesh, you're not running any crossing routes. You're not attacking the middle of the field. Like you are going up against a Spags defense that's going to blitz the hell out of you, and you don't run slants with your best guys. Like you don't get them in space. They're elite in that area, and we know what works with this offense. And Ryan, I'm going to throw this one back to you because I do have like a theory that Ben Van Sumen was a bigger part of this offense than we think. And I feel like the Eagles' rushing game is kind of picking up the pieces a little bit and struggling just a tad, because when you look at the predictability of the offense, where they're always passing in certain situations, I think BVS was the guy that fullback that could open up and give you multiple looks.
I mean, I don't want to give it enough credit. I think maybe the position as a whole, perhaps. Again, let's be honest that BVS has only been playing fullback for a very short time. I think the position is important, and having somebody that knows their role. I think it also is gets completely exacerbated when Dallas Goedert isn't there. He is insanely important to this run game, and his ability to block and be that extra blocker on the edge, and he's just solid. The stats are staggering when he's in versus when he's out. That's all I'll say. And then that showed last night. I thought Barkley could have went, for even bigger and better and longer. But yeah, he only ended up with 80 some yards and was what it was. Obviously, he had that great, perfect touchdown run. But I thought, despite that, despite not having a true fullback, despite not having your quintessential blocker in Dallas Goedert, I thought Saquon did a really good job considering.
Anybody else have anything they want to add before we get into prop bets?
I mean, look, I just think, first of all, everyone bitching about the officials missing the false starts on the tush push. They also missed 37 holds on Kansas City's offensive line. But beyond that, okay, let's go back to that for a minute. The Eagles this week need to be extra careful when practicing the tush push because now that it's become this big deal, these officials are going to be looking at any slight movement. So, that has to be, and I heard Jason Kelce say today, that's got to be a point of emphasis this week. Hey, Tyler Steen, Landon Dickerson, don't friggin' move early because they're going to be looking for that shit now.
Yeah.
They're absolutely going to be looking. But, everyone that's bitching about that, the Kansas City Chiefs get more calls than anybody I've ever seen. The roughing the passer call on Jihad Campbell was a disgrace in that game. So the refs suck both ways, all right? They suck both ways, and they did yesterday. They suck both ways. Yeah, they missed those calls, but like Jason Kelce said, Chris Jones is lined up in the neutral zone every time too. So the refs suck. We know. But that's not why the Eagles won the game. The Eagles won the game because they are mentally tougher than most teams, if not all teams in this league.
Yeah, I'll piggyback off of that. I'll say this, that I'm definitely sick of that narrative. There's so many calls that get missed. Every play, every game, the refs are never going to be in a position to call everything. Everybody gets held every play. It's just whether it's egregious or not. Mm-hmm. And, the fact that you're going to, see something like the tush push and somebody told you, that there's a line of scrimmage and that everybody's over it. And you're just going to run with it. And that's basically what people are doing. And,
plays done after this year because if you just watch
I agree.
Any national media last night, today, they're all, oh, well, this game was lost in March when they allowed that.
Yeah, Adam Schefter. Get out of here, Schefter. Nobody's asking you for your analytics. Just report the damn news.
You don't get rid of plays because they're hard to stop. That is, I'll say it, the pussification of America right now.
100%. Agreed. Amen.
Oh, man.
I'm voting for you, Rob.
Thank you. No, I don't want anything to do with politics.
How is Travis Kelce able to do his, after play thing, and then Nolan Smith flexes and it's taunting,
or Chris Jones is literally 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, flexing and doing this, and there's nothing. But yet, again, we could have a laundry list of situations, of penalties. We can nitpick this, that, and the other. I mean, how much did we complain about Jalen Carter getting held all last year, right? Yeah. It happens. And, we can mention it, we move on. But it really does seem like the national media is really kind of all hunkering down on this. And the only way to kind of defeat it is to kind of go away from it a little bit. Don't use it as much as you need to, and hope that you slowly just kind of, again, it's early in the season. Let's hope it slowly gets out of people's minds by the time that, the end of the season, when we're hoisting another Lombardi and it's time to, the owners to vote.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to get some comments and then we'll get to our prop bets from last week. Brett Eclipse says, Negadelphin in me is coming out after this offensive performance, but trying to stay positive. there are far worse scenarios than being 2-0. Maybe BVS is just naturally good at fullback. They seem to run the ball really well on a down-to-down basis. I mean, we've been calling for more play action, more pistol, and I thought BVS was a huge proponent of that. Listening to Nick Wright was unbearable earlier.
Always.
Never complains when it benefits. Never complains when it's to the benefit of the Chiefs. I don't know what he said, but I don't really care.
Yes, that's all you need.
He's a freaking smacked ass.
The Hurts clip snapping back at Chris
that was great.
That was so good. That was so good.
So good. Said the same thing about the post game, about the Travis celebration. It's just so inconsistent. It's what it is. But the Eagles made plays when they needed to, just enough, and it got them the W. Let's go to our prop bets. Not a good week for me.
Yeah.
I got absolutely killed. There they are.
Oh, Jesus, Dives.
I only got 2 right. Ryan,
I didn't do great.
Let's freaking go.
Ryan, you are in the lead with 14 points. Rob, you have 12. I have 8. And in just a little bit, we will move on to week 3 against the LA Rams. And let's do that. Let's jump into Eagles versus Rams. Top matchups to watch. Eagles offense versus Rams defense. I am just going to say it. It's Kevin Patullo versus the Rams defense. The Rams defense looks really solid. Jared Verse is a problem. They did give up 19 points last week, but 4 of those were there were 4 field goals, including 2 50-plus yard field goals. That Rams defense had 5 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and that's got to be the top storyline. Kevin Patullo versus the pass rush of the LA Rams. Where are you guys going? Eagles offense versus Rams defense.
I mean, I think it's against the defensive line, but I'll go with the Eagles offensive line. They were, in my opinion, I thought the Eagles offensive line pass blocking wise was much better this week than they were the week prior. But I want to see them run the ball down the Rams' throats as they did last season. I want to see them be able to pick up 4 or 5 yards a clip. Now, I mean, we say that, and Saquon still averaged about 4 yards a carry this past week, and got in the end zone. If Patullo is not going to be, if he's going to be bland in the passing game like that, then I want to see them run the ball down the Rams' throats. Because I do fear the pass rush of this vaunted defensive line if, guys aren't getting open like it's been the first 2 weeks because of whatever the case may be. Now, I didn't watch the All-22. Maybe you guys did. I don't know if guys aren't open or if Hurts is just missing them. But it seemed to me that guys weren't getting open. So either get more exotic on that pass game or, hey, offensive line, go, bull rush these guys and let's run it down their throats.
Yeah. In 2 games against the Rams, Saquon has 52 carries, 460 yards, 4 touchdowns, 8.8 yards a carry, and 534 yards of scrimmage. That's just insane. So I agree, Ryan or Rob. The best way to support your pass attack is a great run attack. And fun matchup to watch here is Saquon Barkley versus linebacker Nate Landman. Does anybody know who that is? He's the only player in the NFL born from Zimbabwe. Pretty cool story here that he was I believe an undrafted rookie. Made it to the Atlanta Falcons in 2022. Made it as a rookie. He came from the University of Colorado. Didn't really play much, but now with the LA Rams, he was the NFC Defensive Player of the Week in week 1. 10 tackles, a forced fumble. Last week, he had 8 tackles against the Titans. So rooting for him, man. I love those little stories that, rags to riches. Zach Bond type of storyline. So, Ryan, do you have a matchup to watch? Eagles offense versus Rams defense.
Yeah, it's Jalen Hurts versus the secondary. Again, this offense has been called vanilla, predictable, you name it. But listen, just like every team, everybody's trying to figure it out. And yeah, let's call it what it is. It's his first two games, not great, but there's learning opportunities here. And listen, I know we're all talking about the Rams, and I know we're all remember that playoff game and how close it was. And listen, the Rams were losing to the Tennessee Titans at halftime. Like, that's freaking embarrassing. Like, yeah, you pulled away in the second half and you won by 2 scores, but no, that shouldn't happen. You should be a more dominant team, and you're not. And they're not necessarily playing like that. Yes, they're 2-0, but they haven't looked necessarily all that great. I think we have the defense that can withstand having to go up against Adams and Puka. And I think we have the offense, we have the weapons. We just got to utilize them. And this is the game that, whether you want to throw it on Patullo, Sirianni, Hurts, whatever. But this is the game where, you know what? First 2 games, we're gonna flush it. We got to be unpredictable. We got to be getting chunk plays. And we got to be dynamic. And they have that ability. They have the players. They have everything in place. They just need the right direction. And that's certainly what needs to happen. And I think that starts with Jalen Hurts and getting Brown, Smith, a little bit more involved in this game. And hopefully Dallas Goedert will be in this game as well.
Well, the good news is the Rams got bad news this week. Ahkello Witherspoon, cornerback, not a great corner by any means, but he broke his clavicle last week, and this was already a weakness for the Rams. They're strong up front, but definitely weakest in the back. And Emmanuel Forbes Jr., remember him?
Kobe
Durant, Darius Williams. They don't have a lot of.
Yeah, they have halfway decent safety. They have Cameron Curl. They have Cameron Kitchens, my man from Miami, who's looking like a player. Shocker. But their corners are weak. So put AJ Brown against Forbes and let him reintroduce himself.
Absolutely. AJ is running 3 routes, slant and breaker to go. McDaniels is a terrible head coach and locker room guy. Let's flip it. Let's go to the Eagles defense versus the Rams offense. I just harping back to last year when we were all talking and pumping up Matthew Stafford, and Ryan, you wanted nothing to do with it.
No,
it was good times, man. It's good times.
No, yes, Stafford is overhyped, overrated, not a Hall of Famer.
Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua, as we discussed. I mean, those two are could be a problem, especially for Adoree Jackson. I thought Mahomes missed several big plays targeting Adoree Jackson last week, and we'll see what happens. I thought Jackson definitely got lucky in week 2, and with Puka and Devontae and all those guys that can move in the slot and outside, should be an interesting matchup. Anybody have any other matchups to watch? Eagles defense versus Rams offense?
Yeah, I'd say Jalen Carter versus the interior of that offensive line. I mean, obviously, we got the plays that stick in our head last year. Even once again, I thought Jalen Carter's presence on that defensive line changes everything because of the double teams, which means Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, now Zadarius Smith. All these guys are getting one-on-one battles on that 4th down stop. They put all that attention on Jalen Carter, and what happens? Nolan Smith comes off the edge, bull rushes the pulling offensive lineman back into the running back. The play's made. He doesn't get the first down. every one of these guys is good at what they do, but it's Jalen Carter's presence and the fact that they are double teaming him that makes everything else run as smoothly as it does.
Yeah.
Just because you're old doesn't mean you're good.
Yards and passing TDs all time. I mean, they're putting up a lot of yards.
I mean, Stafford's won a Super Bowl and has a lot of stats. He'll go to the Hall of Fame. It doesn't mean he scares me for this week.
He shouldn't. This isn't the Hall of Very Good.
Does anybody have any other matchups to watch before we get into X factors for Sunday?
Yeah. Listen, I think these linebackers are playing at a pretty nice level. Zach Bond
Crazy.
is continuing his amazing play from last year, and he's bringing along the rook. I think Campbell is slowly but surely kind of coming along. He's making plays here and there. You're starting to see that it's starting to click a little bit more each game, each quarter, even. And so that's certainly where I'm going to be focusing on. I thought, to kind of piggyback off what Rob said about Jalen Carter, and you could tell Jalen Carter still, wasn't really himself, wasn't fully Jalen Carter. He was taking a few plays off here and there. You'd see him just kind of go through the motions, and so I think he got this first game under his belt. I don't expect him to do that again, and he'll be full-fledged, ready to go. And like Rob said, it affects everything. It affects Jordan Davis, Moro Jomo, the edge. And can I just say, Za'Darius Smith, man, what a breath of fresh air. I mean, he immediately comes in and he's, boom, leader. Like, you can already see the way he carries himself. He's helping, he's coaching, he's talking, and then he also does it on the field. Getting to Mahomes a couple of times, getting some TFLs. So it was nice to see.
Yeah, and I'm going to piggyback right off of that, Ryan. You're not stealing it from me. For my X Factor, I'm going Za'Darius Smith. That's where I was headed.
Just get that right in.
Absolutely. I think he played 20 snaps-ish, something around there. Could be your third edge rusher. Maybe second.
Maybe second. No, I was going to say. I think
wow, but everything you said, Ryan, 1,000%. He's the veteran pickup they truly needed. 4 tackles, half a sack, a tackle for loss. I'm excited to see what he's got going forward. I still don't know if he's nothing more than a situational pass rusher. I don't know if he's a starter yet, but he's going to be a big part of that rotation. I think the Eagles did a pretty decent job generating pressure against Mahomes, and I like the idea of Za'Darius Smith, balancing out that snap count a little bit for the rest of this rotation. I think less is more in many little ways, and Za'Darius Smith is my X factor. Ryan, who's yours?
I'm gonna
Grant Calcaterra.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna say that's a good point. I'm gonna say Dallas Goedert. I have a feeling he's playing this game, and the impact that Dallas Goedert will show on the field will be too obvious to everybody. This offense will look a little different with him in there. That's for sure.
All right. Does Jalen get a passing TD this game? We'll get there in a moment. Rob, who's your X factor?
I'm going to go with the iron leg of Jake Elliott. This guy, out of nowhere, right? Last year, couldn't buy a kick above 50. Now, not only is he hitting kicks above 50, they'd be good from 70 the way he's kicking them right now. I mean, you're in a situation where, hey, if we get to the 35, we're getting points the way he's kicking the ball right now. And in a game that could come down to the wire, it could be on the leg of our man Jake, who seemingly right now seems to have found his rhythm that he was in a couple years ago.
That's a really good point, because there was a legit stretch of the season, during the second half, where the Eagles had to make a decision on 4th down, whether they're going to go for it or kick a field goal. And my gosh, like there were times where he had to be aggressive in 2024. And you saw last night, the Eagles at the end of the first half almost settling for a field goal. Just ironic given what was happening. Like during these prop bets, remember, Ryan? Like we had an over-under prop bet on Jake Elliott that ran for weeks.
Of how many he missed.
How many he'd miss. And turns out he truly was injured, it seemed, because he's already surpassed his the amount of 50-yard field goals he's hit last year already so far this year.
And they're not like 51 yards. He's hit like
they were like 57, 58. Yeah, they're deep.
And shout out to Braden Mann too, who's been just
oh my God. We got 2 golden legs back there.
Yeah, pretty solid,
baby.
Pretty awesome. Let's get Tank Bigsby back there a little bit too. I want to return for a touchdown.
I love them trying to get John Mechie involved, but my God, does he look slow on a kick return?
All right, Saquon Barkley over under 149.5 rushing yards against the Rams. Ryan.
Oh boy. I'm gonna say over. Dallas Goedert's in there. It's a different run game, and in the 2 games last year, Saquon Barkley dominated the Rams. Dominated, embarrassed, made them think about quitting football.
Rob,
so he's going over.
It's time, baby. Today, this will be the big Barkley game. He's going over.
Gotta be over. AJ Brown over under 89.5 yards. Rob.
I feel like I'm getting to the Ryan point of the season where I want to just say over until it happens, but I won't. I think I think he'll go under that number this week.
I am with you, Rob. I'm going under. What about
you? Know where Ryan's going.
Oh, do you? Because I'm going under.
Wow. Mr. Positivity, not so positive.
Yeah, well, listen, I feel like AJ Brown needs to the passing game in general, not just AJ Brown. The passing game needs to prove it before I'm willing to go on that limb yet.
This is the best comment of the night. Getting 3 straight weeks.
I know. You have no idea how happy that makes me, considering that 2 of them are home games.
Amazing.
I cannot wait to be down there tailgating back home after an Eagles win and be be home by like 6 or 7 o'clock. It'd be great.
I don't like it. Most likely I'm going to be at a sporting event having to watch it on my phone. I don't like it.
Devontae Adams over under 99.5 receiving yards for Devontae. He had 9 targets for 100-something yards. Last week, biggest game of the year by far. Nakua is also getting a significant amount of targets, but stick with Devontae Adams. Ryan, over under?
Under.
Under for Ryan. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I think he goes under.
I am also going to go under. Let's go Jalen Hurts over under 149.5 passing yards.
This is I get what you're doing, but this is disrespectful. It really is. I get it. I don't blame you, but I feel like if this was coming from a non-Eagles fan, I'd jump across the table.
I felt like I was being actually relatively nice. Like you had 150 roughly week 1 and then 100 week 2.
He's going over.
Going over for Ryan. What about you, Rob?
Yeah, I think he goes over here. I think he goes over that number in the first half.
Oh, snap. I would love that.
I'm going under.
By the way, this Monday night game, every time I pick my head up, somebody is getting sacked on both teams.
Yeah.
It's pathetic.
Jalen Hurts over under 2.5 total touchdowns. Rob.
I'm going to go under.
Ryan?
Yeah, that's tough.
I
think over.
Over. I want to go under, slightly under. Jared Verse, over under total sacks, 0.5. Rob, you're over?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's getting a sack.
Yeah, he was a force in the playoffs against the Birds. He was a big-time problem. Ryan?
I'm gonna say under.
Under for Ryan. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Verse gets home.
All right. Eagles defense over under total team sacks, 2.5. Ryan?
That's tough because I don't like to give compliments out to Matthew Stafford, but he does get the ball out pretty quick. And we all know that the Eagles need a little time to get back there. But yeah, I feel like another game with Carter there, Za'Darius getting some more sacks. I'm gonna say over.
Rob?
I think they get 2. I'm gonna go under.
I'm also going to go under. All right,
Man,
Rob.
my lead is going to be immense after this week.
Is week 3 the first time Jalen Carter gets home?
I'm going to say absolutely. I think he goes against Aaron Donald's former team and says, I'm that guy. He gets home. Over.
And I can't wait to see him pick up Stafford yet again. Give me the over, Ryan.
Yeah, I'll make a clean sweep here.
All right, Matthew Stafford, over under interception, 0.5. Rob.
Have the Eagles intercepted a pass yet?
Yeah, they did last week, man.
Yeah, Makuba.
Oh, Makuba.
Dumb.
God damn. I'm losing my mind.
Yeah,
I will say yes.
Wow.
It's going to be a deflection, and they will get a pick.
Ryan?
Yeah, absolutely. Stafford sucks.
Oh, my God.
Also going over. Rams defense, over under sacks, 2.5. Rob.
I think the Rams get 2. I'll go under.
Under for Rob. I'm going over. I think Byron Young's legit.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over. I think they get 3 or more.
Jalen Hurts, over under total turnovers, 0.5. Ryan.
How many? He doesn't have any turnovers so far.
No, he fumbled it, but he didn't.
He fumbled. That was like the first freaking play too. Yeah, I have a bad feeling. I'll say yeah.
Over.
I'll go over.
Rob.
He ain't turning it over. At least I won't pick him turning it over until he does it.
This offense is too conservative right now. Going under, and then Kyron Williams, 49.5 rushing yards, over under Ryan.
Oh, that's tough because
it's a low number.
Yeah, but he had 66 against the lowly Tennessee Titans. So, I'll say under.
Rob,
I think we're going to be up. They're going to need to throw more. That'll lower his carries.
Both times they played them, Williams has been like the guy who starts the game for them and gets a lot of yards. I'm going over. Maybe part of that is from a fantasy perspective.
Yeah. I'll also go over. Player of the game, Rob, lead us off.
Woo! Player of the game. You like that sound? I am going Zach Bond this week.
Ooh,
I think
like
Zach Bond has a day, a lot of tackles, and maybe he's the one who gets a little pick action on Matt Stafford.
He's been so good. So good.
Yeah, he's been very solid, and even if he's not, lighting up the stat sheet, he is heavily involved in so much. So.
It's unbelievable how that's just the expectation now. I still am not used to it.
That's also very true, Moon. Yeah, Blake is starting to cut into that. I think last week he had 5 for 44, so it was pretty good. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Bread Eclipse.
You're not right, Bread Eclipse. You're not right.
I am I am the greatest prognosticator.
That's not what he
Not
said.
in college football. Not in college football.
And that's not at all what he said.
Listen. We're gonna be doing a mock draft soon, so that's all I gotta say. Player of the game. Woo. I'm gonna say Q.
Wow.
The Q Stonehands Mitchell gets himself a pick and shuts down anybody that's even within his vicinity.
You guys are nuts. I'm taking the layup. Give me Saquon Barkley.
Maybe some of us want to challenge Dives.
Yeah, Dives. You can't all just take layups, brah.
What? Literally every week I
Dives
pick
didn't
Jalen
take one of the
Carter.
coaches for this.
I mean,
Dives didn't take
listen.
Fangio.
Listen, you for 17 weeks straight one year picked Jalen Carter as your player of the game. So I don't want to hear it.
Yep. This is
Okay.
Yep. And then I stopped, and then in the playoffs, like he had some big moments. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. That is our prop bets. We'll revisit those a week from today. Ryan, final thoughts: Eagles versus Rams. Plugs. Tom's yours.
Yeah, I just would just like to thank my brain for dominating you both in this game that we're doing Pick'ems. I look to continue that domination this week.
You're up by 2.
Domination.
By 2.
I will say hopefully the Phillies win so we can clinch a division over the Mutts.
Well, hold on. What are the Mets doing right now?
Oh, I mean, it doesn't matter. Don't the Phillies playing? Aren't they playing?
They don't play till 10 o'clock. If the Mets lose, they win the division before they even.
Well, there you go.
Field.
Well, either way, I like originally the message was X Factor's Poon Ford, which I thought was really funny. But anyway, yeah, make sure you check out all the other shows on the Eagles Pinball Network, including right after this. We're doing our Armchair Scouts. We're going to be talking about a little college football. But yeah, make sure you're following these guys. And as always, go Birds and F. Matthew Stafford.
I'm not showing that.
Yeah, please don't show that. Why don't we ever pick the games anymore? We don't even pick who's going to win. I know that Ryan has them at 17-0, so we don't have.
You're literally going to pick the Eagles every time.
That's not true. That's not true.
Last week I picked the Chiefs.
Yes, it is.
I picked the Chiefs last week.
Yeah, because you're a bum.
Chiefs are going to win too.
Yeah. Well, who picked the Eagles?
Exactly. Just proved our point.
Yeah. I do think the
I'm not going to listen. They keep winning because I keep calling it.
No, incorrect. I do think the Eagles win this week, 27-20. That is my score. Nice. I know that there's the whole revenge factor, but the game being in Philly, look, could there be a letdown scenario? Maybe. But I don't think it's going to happen this week. I do worry about, the 57th trip in a row down to Tampa. I feel like they go to Tampa every freaking year. I don't understand why.
Toughest place to play.
It's like the Mets for the Phillies when they have to go up to Citi Field. But should be fun. But I just don't. I don't know. Maybe because I think that Sean McVay is the most overrated coach of all time. I just never fear the Rams when we have to play them. So here we go.
A lot of people picking Rams here. Moon says Rams 31, Eagles 30, 36-19 Rams. My final thought is got to be this. This is pretty wild. That we're into week 2 of the 2025 season, and Jeff Stoutland University took the L in one of our polls here. Vic Fangio getting 58%.
That is absolutely wild.
That blows my mind. The fact that, you ran this poll 3-4 months ago. This is highly Jeff Stoutland winning by a decent margin. Now look at Vic Fangio. 2 Hall of Famers, man. It's just amazing.
I mean, listen, I get it, but come on. Let's at least give the man another season to dominate before we're calling him better than Jeff Stoutland, who has literally taken the most random people and made them all pros. Like, I don't-
Houston's offensive line might be worse than a high school's.
Have they ever been
hell.
good? I feel like their offensive line has always been
It's
good.
yeah,
freaking
they've always,
everyone
yeah,
wants
but
to
they've
yell
always
about
had like a player or two that was at least good enough to make the overall look better and in middle of the pack. But
Like
yeah,
everybody wants to like yell at CJ Stroud. I don't know. Watching this game, I don't know what anybody wants him to do. He has no time. None.
All right, guys,
hell,
we're
hell
going.
no. And Eagles winning that fight.
Oh my God.
What happened? What happened?
4 guys just sacked him at the same time.
No way.
Ooh.
Like 2 seconds after he had the ball. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, man, I'm just getting to that now. Yeah, you're
This
right.
is
That's
absurd.
Yikes. Anyway, guys, thank everyone for watching. We're going live right after this to talk week 4
They're going
of
live.
college football.
Go
Thank
Knicks.
you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out with us yesterday for halftime and post game. It was a blast. Tons of comments. If you love good football, hang out with us. We're going to be talking some more Eagles draft targets. We're going to be talking some different teams we really haven't talked about yet. So, guys, thank everyone for commenting. Please like this video if you want more Eagles W's. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA. He is Rob Lange at Philly_Madness, and I'm Dives. Stay awesome, everyone.